Let's not romanticize this. The 2025 Nobel Peace Prize didn't go to a peacemaker, it went to a placeholder. A convenient face for conquest. A smiling frontwoman for a quiet invasion. And if you think that's an exaggeration, let's start at the beginning. The real beginning, in the oil-soaked heart of Venezuela. Let's talk about the surrender that wasn't enough. Picture this, President Nicolas Maduro, cornered and desperate to keep his country intact. Practically throws himself at the feet of Washington. He offers them everything, oil, access, trade routes. He even says, fine, we'll cut off China, we'll cut off Russia, we'll stop dealing with Iran. It was total submission, the kind of diplomatic groveling that once would have earned a photo-op handshake. But not this time, because this was never about peace. It was about ownership. Washington didn't want an ally, it wanted a replacement. So, when Maduro's olive branch wasn't enough, the US shifted gears. Enter the gunboats, 10 warships off Venezuelan waters. Enter the boots, 6,500 troops deployed to maintain security. And enter the propaganda machine, whispering about plots to bomb the US embassy, as if the pretext for invasion wasn't written years in advance. Then, as Maduro scrambled to call the UN Security Council, begging for a hearing before his country went up in flames, the Nobel Committee was across the Atlantic, polishing a medal. Underscore, this will forever be known as the Peace Prize heard around the world because of the wall of lies and deception built around it. The internet laughed when Trump didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize this year. The memes were brutal. The smug was real. See, even the Nobel Committee won't touch him, they said. But here's the thing about Trump. He doesn't lose. He just outsources the win. So you see, the joke is actually on everybody who made Donald Trump the brunt of their jokes. While the world laughed, Trump was somewhere eating a Big Mac and a side order of fries, while plotting his next move. Because instead of Trump's name on the certificate, we got María Corina Machado, Venezuela's opposition leader, America's golden girl, and the most obedient rebel Western money can buy. She spent years praising Trump, echoing his lines about liberation, and urging Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu, to intervene militarily in Venezuela. That's right, the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize went to a woman who literally asked for foreign military intervention in her own country. And somehow, the Nobel Committee looked at that and said, yes, that's the spirit of peace we were looking for. The Machado is nothing more than a puppet with a halo. Let's be clear, Machado is the perfect foil for the empire's next act. She's the smiling mask on the bulldozer, the soft voice selling the hard takeover. The moment she was anointed, the headlines shifted. Democracy returns to Venezuela. No mention of the fact that the same woman they're celebrating has been banned from office for corruption and foreign collusion. No mention of her ties to Sumite, an organization with deep funding links to the U.S. National Endowment for Democracy, a group famous for toppling governments under the banner of civil society. And when she accepted the Nobel Peace Prize, who did she thank? Not her people, not the victims of sanctions. She dedicated it to Donald Trump. You can't make this up. The Nobel Committee just awarded its highest honor to someone who treats regime change like a self-care routine. Look, to be clear, peace is being used as cover for plunder. This isn't about Machado's personality, it's about what she represents. The privatization of Venezuela, wrapped in a ribbon of humanitarian language. You see, the US doesn't need to invade anymore, not when it can install a democratic leader to sign the contracts herself. Machado's job isn't to lead Venezuela to peace. It's to make the plunder look patriotic. Once she's in power, every oil contract, every mining deal, every foreign partnership will be legal. Not stolen, sanctioned. Not seized, signed. Not imperialism, investment. That's the brilliance of modern empire. They don't send armies anymore. They send Nobel laureates. The Nobel Committee has dirty blood-stained hands. The Nobel Peace Prize was once a moral compass. Now, it's a political endorsement letter. The committee knows exactly what it's doing. Awarding Machado isn't about courage, it's about cover. It provides moral camouflage for military buildup, for sanctions that starve, for coups that masquerade as elections. Because if the Nobel Peace Prize winner calls for regime change, it must be noble, right? It's the same playbook they used in Libya, in Iraq, in Ukraine. Just add subtitles in Spanish and call it democracy. So no, Trump didn't lose the Nobel Peace Prize. He just found a better way to win it. He gets the oil, the leverage, the narrative. Machado gets the medal, the applause, and the false glory. And the Nobel Committee gets to pretend it's still in the business of moral clarity instead of geopolitical theater. It's a three-way transaction of deceit, wrapped in the language of virtue. What we are all witnessing is the new scramble for the South. Let's not miss the bigger picture. Africa's waking up. Across the continent, leaders are standing up and saying, no more. No more resource theft disguised as aid. No more puppet governments dancing for foreign applause. No more using Africa's pain as the world's profit margin. And the colonizers, they don't retire, they relocate. When Africa started closing its gates, they turned their gaze to Latin America. Venezuela is the new Congo, the new gold mine, the new project. And María Corina Machado is the new missionary in a pantsuit, there to save her people by selling what's left of them to the highest bidder. Hashtag the final joke. Maduro begged for peace and got warships. Machado begged for invasion and got applause. Trump begged for a medal and got a mouthpiece. And the world? It got another illusion, a peace prize forged from the wreckage of real peace. The Nobel Committee handed a gold coin to empire and called it virtue. They didn't crown a peacemaker. They crowned a proxy. And the saddest part, most people will clap because the marketing was immaculate. Peace is no longer what you win for preventing war. It's what you win for selling it well. To get even deeper insight into this story, check out the latest online version of the West Side Gazette newspaper. For now, this is Sensible Sue signing off and saying keep it safe and sensible out there.